Hey folks, Darren here, Mr. Sandsman. Welcome back to the channel. Continuing, Halloween. So if you remember last time I got up to Halloween Resurrection, I'm going to leave the two zombie movies, the two Rob Zombie movies, just in case those come out on 4K soon. I don't want to have to redo the video. I don't think there's any sign of them coming out on 4K soon, but I just have some DVDs and the Blu-rays from the Scream Factory box set that came out back in 2014, I think it was. So I'm going to skip forward to Halloween 2018, and there was a huge amount of anticipation for this film. I absolutely was beside myself when I learned that they were going to do another Halloween movie, that Jamie Lee Curtis was going to be involved, that John Carpenter was going to be involved in a production capacity, also Nick Castle being involved as well, and then John Carpenter announcing that he's doing the score for the film too. And so as a Halloween fan, as a huge Halloween fan, way back in, I'd say, would this have been 2016? Something like that, maybe late 2016 or early 2017. I can't quite remember now. This was massive news, really, really massive news. And it took us months to kind of figure out what they were actually going to do. Like, was this a reboot, a requel, or, you know, a sequel? Were they going to keep it within one of the many timelines of the Halloween franchise? I think there was a lot of speculation that it would start after Halloween 2, but it ended up starting after Halloween, the original film. So, you know, we skip forward 40 years after the events of 1978 with Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Pleasence. Donald Pleasence shooting Michael Myers off the balcony. And we fast forward to 2018. And Laurie is living in isolation in her own little compound with her own security system there and everything. She has a family. She has a daughter who has a daughter. And she's slightly estranged from the family. She doesn't have much contact with them. They all think she's a little bit gaga because she's convinced that one day Michael Myers will come back after her. The movie itself, I managed to see it a couple of weeks before release at a preview screening. And at first, I was okay with it. I was kind of fine. It almost derails halfway through. The movie sort of implodes on itself, in my opinion, when we have the sequence with Sartain and he takes Michael's mask and puts it on. And I was thinking, oh my God, what are you doing? This shouldn't be happening in a Halloween film. And so I was massively uncomfortable with that. It almost took me completely out of the movie. But then it sort of gets itself back on track, and we get this fabulous showdown with Laurie Strode and Michael and the rest of her family, a daughter and her granddaughter, at the compound. And it's a decent film. It's a kind of admirable return to the franchise, despite all its flaws. I'm not sure whether we needed another 2 movies afterwards. I will come to them in a future episode. But I kind of liked it for the nostalgic factor. I was always a fan of the original Halloween, having seen it at such a young age, way back in the early 80s. It was the first Halloween movie that I ever saw, was the original. And so it kind of warmed the cockles of my heart, the fact that 40 years later, we're still talking about this franchise. And so it was a big deal. And everybody that was involved, to me, was a big deal. Fast forward a year or so later, and I pick up the 4K Blu-ray. Here it is, the UK Region B Blu-ray. That's the slipcover. Includes 30 minutes of bonus features. We'll get to them shortly. Too much technical babble. It's kind of an overload of information on the back of these Universal 4Ks, I think. They seem to have cleaned it up a little bit now, but so much advertising, so much information on there. There's just too much going on. I prefer more about the film on there rather than trying to educate people on what a 4K Blu-ray is. It is HDR. It's a 2160 UHD HDR10 widescreen 2.39:1. The audio channel is DTSX, so there's no Atmos on here whatsoever. And no Dolby Vision either, which is a shame. In terms of extras, we have a bunch of deleted scenes, and they are an extended shooting range scene, a shower mask visit scene. That's the one where the podcasters are in the motel and she's having a shower and he comes in wearing the mask. A jog to a hanging dog. There's a scene where Michael's hung a dog from a tree. Cameron and Cops Don't Mix, Allison and Friends at School, the deluxe Barn Me Cops scene, which is the one with Chris Nelson sat with his colleague in the car, and they're talking about this Vietnamese sandwich. And the Sartain and Hawkins ride along. Also, we have a bunch of featurettes and special content, which are Back in Haddonfield, The Making of Halloween, which is a behind-the-scenes look at the production, the original Scream Queen celebrating Jamie Lee Curtis's return, The Sound of Fear on John Carpenter's score, Journey of the Mask, the iconic Michael Myers mask development, and The Legacy of Halloween, which is basically contextualizing the film within the franchise. So we'll just take a quick look inside. I can just show you what else we have in here. There's a digital download, which I don't believe I've done anything with. I mean, this is kind of 6 or 7 years old now, so I'm guessing that there's not a lot you can do with that. I don't know. I don't think they're valid anymore in this country. Those are the two discs you get. You get the Blu-ray and the 4K. No reversible slipcover, but there is the full artwork and all that technical babble on the back of the Blu-ray there, which just looks like a bit of an eyesore. So there it is, the Halloween 2018 4K Ultra HD. Like I said, no Dolby Vision, no Atmos, but a nice bunch of extras that are on there. I do wish that they would show us that original ending with Michael and Jamie having the knife fight out in the woods, where Michael bleeds out and dies, apparently. It was tested with audiences, and then they reshot the ending. We know it exists. There are photographs of it. There were shots in the original 2018 trailer as well from this sequence. Why they wouldn't put it on here as an extra, I don't know. But in a few years' time, 3 years' time, it's the 10th anniversary of this film. So, wow, 10 years already in 3 years. So hopefully they will put together a monster special edition for us. And we'll get to see all the stuff that David Gordon Green cut out of the movie. I don't mind David Gordon Green. I don't mind what he did with this trilogy. It wasn't the route I would have chosen, but I don't hate on it like a lot of people. I'm kind of just fine with it. I do think that this is probably the stronger of the three movies, although Kills has gone up in my estimation over the years, and we'll talk about Ends as we get closer to it. A few years after the trilogy had been fully released, Universal in the UK brought out this box set here. Halloween Trilogy, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends are included in that, as well as the original 2018 Halloween. There are the spines. I will just show you Halloween for today. I think this came out as maybe a Walmart exclusive in the US, but I think in the UK it was pretty much available everywhere, or maybe it was just Amazon, I don't know. It was pricey, I know that. There's the front of the Steelbook. There's the rear of the Steelbook for Halloween. There's the spine, and then inside, just the one disc, just the 4K disc. And I believe that in the US, they actually put Blu-rays in there, but in the UK, they didn't. They just put the 4K disc in there. Let me just check it's not underneath. No, it isn't. But it does mean we can see that cool picture of Michael Myers there over on the left. There are some sort of art cards that we get with this. Can just show you them. There's that. 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 And then essentially just the cover of the Steelbook on art card form. There we go. I think the disc itself is identical. There's just looking at it, I can see already that I think they've just repackaged the disc from the original release. I haven't actually checked it because I haven't played this version, but from what I gather, it's the same disc that's inside here. But if you know any different, please do let me know down below. But I'm pretty sure it's all the same extras from the original 2018 release, which is that one right there. Those are the only two versions I have. I know there are various Steelbooks and different versions out there. These are both region B or UK. I think at the time, I paid around about £100 for this box set. It was a lot of money, and I'm not sure it was worth it. But again, as I always say, kind of nice thing to have, and sits nicely alongside all the other Halloween DVDs and Blu-rays that I have. So that's it. I'll be back soon with Halloween Kills, and also hopefully be back with a live soon as well. So thank you very much, folks. Thanks for all the support with the channel. If you have anything different with regards to Halloween 2018 on 4K or Blu-ray, then pop it down in the comments below and let's have a chat about it. I really do like hearing from people and what they have that's different. So yeah, that would be really good to hear. In the meantime, I shall see you soon. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.